DJ Akademiks and Sneako are officially ops after this chud debate, and at this point, bro, I don't even think there's a friendship left to save. What started as a debate turned into a full-blown online war, and after everything that happened during round 1 and round 2, it's clear these two dudes are not seeing eye to eye anymore. The bridge is burned, the respect is gone, and now every time one of them goes live, it feels like they're throwing subliminals at each other. Now, if you watch the original debate, then you already know the comments were absolutely brutal.
I think Ak posted the debate. Let's see some of the comments on this. Y'all forgot Sneako is actually a clown. This is why people punch on Sneako. Look at this, 1.2K likes. Exactly why bro got punched on and choked out. How can a non-black person tell a black person what's offensive? Okay. And Sneako surprised when he got punched in NYC. A non-black telling blacks how to feel about oppression will never be okay.
And we defeated that nigga with a couple of free throws and 2 technical fouls. That was, we were doing like the Angel Reese, a bunch of me bounds. We beat his ass with a bunch of me bounds. I didn't even think this was going to go viral, but look all over the internet, 8 million views. Everybody and their mama calling me, saying I embarrassed Sneako. I have to tell each and every one of them, that's my friend. I'm still cool with them, but I vehemently disagree with them on this, and I have to vocalize it because if I allow his voice to go uncontested, people might think that's actually facts. I wasn't even thinking about it in the wins and losses until Sneako hit me back up last night, wanting a run back. I'm like, okay, it's a round 2. Okay. All right. So it's okay. It's okay. Sneako, I know your community might not be the most proud of you. I'll give you a run back. Hopefully your logic is a little bit better.
Sneako. I'm talking cooked, fried, roasted. Everywhere you looked online, people were clowning him, saying academics embarrassed him, saying he got washed, saying he got emotional, and saying he had no answer for some of the points Act was making. And the crazy part is, it wasn't just the audience saying it. Akademiks himself basically went online afterward and doubled down on the narrative that he completely destroyed Sneako in the debate. And you gotta understand something about Sneako. Whether you agree with him or not, he's not the type of dude that's gonna sit there quietly while the internet piles on him. So when he saw the comments, then saw Akademiks almost celebrating the public reaction, he took that personal. To him, it wasn't just debate commentary anymore. He felt like Ak was joining the dog pile. After the debate, Akademiks went online reacting to some of the comments people were leaving under the clips, and bro, they were ruthless. People were saying things like, y'all forgot Sneako is actually a clown. This is why people punch on Sneako. This is exactly why bro got choked out. How is a non-black person gonna tell black people what's offensive? And those comments were getting thousands of likes. So while Akademiks is reading all this out loud on stream, laughing and joking around, you gotta imagine Sneako sitting there watching all of this like, nah, this dude is really letting the whole internet clown me right now. But Akademiks wasn't looking at it like that. From his perspective, he believed he was standing on business. He thought he won the debate fair and square, and he felt like people online were simply agreeing with him. So he starts talking crazy. He's saying stuff like, everybody's calling me saying I embarrassed Sneako. I washed him. I didn't even break a sweat. And then he hit Sneako with the ultimate disrespect. He basically says the only reason he'd even agree to another debate is because Sneako asked for a rematch. That's when things really started escalating, because now it wasn't just a disagreement anymore, it became ego versus ego. Now to Sneako's credit, he did take the unpopular stance in the debate. And whenever you take the unpopular stance online, especially on a topic that already has people emotionally charged, you're automatically going to get cooked on social media no matter what points you make. That's just how the internet works. But the issue wasn't even necessarily the debate itself anymore. It was the aftermath. It was Akademiks continuously going online, replaying the clips, replaying the reactions, talking about how badly he beat Sneako, while the entire internet was turning Sneako into a meme. And Sneako clearly started feeling some type of way about it. So they do the rematch, round 2. And honestly, public opinion didn't really change much. The people who thought Akademiks won the first debate still believed he won after the second one. And the people defending Sneako stayed defending Sneako. Nobody's minds really got changed. But what did change was the energy between them. Because after round 2, instead of squashing it and moving on like normal people, they started taking shots at each other publicly. Now, Akademiks later goes on another stream where he's talking with Myron. And during that conversation, he says something that really set Sneako off. He called him irrelevant.
Bro,
a whole different race.
You're comparing
A whole race of people?
Israel-Palestine
Yes.
to this?
Yes. Hold on. All right, wait, hear what I'm saying. Sneako is a fucking irrelevant commentator. Why are they putting his name on a bomb? Just like how Chud is an irrelevant streamer. But you know why? Their rhetoric matters that much.
Well, why is Zach chipping out since the debate? It was respectful. I told you guys, what the hell? If I'm irrelevant, one, you wouldn't be talking to me. Why would you speak to somebody and debate them for hours if you thought they're relevant? Second, yeah, I'm relevant enough for the IDF to write my name on their missile, write it on their bomb. What? Irrelevant to Israel? Obviously not. Israel cares so much about the propaganda in our country. They saw how much they were losing and invested $7,000 per influencer to support them. Their propaganda is everywhere. Look how much they own Turning Point. Look at Charlie Kirk left and now Erica Kirk's in charge, and they are trying to push for more Zionism within the right. Dude, they 100% care about influencers in this conversation and what's happening. They need American support. Out of context, so what's the context?
Then people,
Bro,
a whole different race.
You're comparing
A whole race of
Israel-Palestine
people? Yes.
to this?
Yes. Hold on. All right, wait, hear what I'm saying. Sneako is a fucking irrelevant commentator. Why?
Why is he? Dang, man. Niggas seething, bro. Dang, man. Holy. I think he prayed to the wrong cup. I think he prayed to a Henny cup that day. Wait, damn. I've never seen him make that face before. What did I do?
And bro Sneako did not like that. Academics basically said Sneako is an irrelevant commentator. Now maybe Act meant irrelevant in the context of world politics or global affairs, but that's not how Sneako took it. Sneako heard that and basically interpreted it as, you're a nobody. And the reason Sneako got so heated over that statement is because in his mind, he's built a massive platform over the last few years. Whether people agree with him or hate him, he sees himself as somebody who actually influences conversations online. So hearing academics publicly dismiss him like he's some random streamer clearly struck a nerve. And then Sneako starts responding emotionally on stream. He's saying things like, if I'm irrelevant, then why debate me for hours? If I'm irrelevant, why are people constantly talking about me? If I'm irrelevant, why is my name getting brought up in political conversations? And honestly, from Sneako's point of view, he probably felt betrayed more than anything. Because remember, these dudes weren't enemies originally. They had collaborated before. They had streamed together. They had mutual respect at one point. So now for academics to publicly start clowning him after the debate probably felt fake to Sneako. And that's when the friendship completely started cracking. Then things got even more awkward when Sneako reacted to Academics finally meeting Drake in real life. Now everybody already knows Academics has had a long history covering Drake, defending Drake, talking about Drake, and being connected to that entire side of hip-hop media. So when Sneako saw clips of Academics hanging out with Drake, he started low-key roasting him. Sneako basically implied that
Wasn't this your friend? Yeah, I mean, kind of consider Academics. He's like a content friend. I don't think he like, for example, perfect example how he's a content friend. I get attacked. I don't think he messages me, but then he makes fun of it and said like, oh, did God bless you by having a homeless guy attack you and pepper spray you? But that's content, you know? So in this world, especially if you don't agree with somebody and you're as provocative and you're as, you know, steadfast in your beliefs as me, it's going to be hard to find real friendships.
It is.
It's not real, is it? It's legit? For me?
Yeah. Overdue. So. Been rapping a long time.
Bro, he got taken on a date. This is a date, bro. You should have taken the $1 million. And if you care about black issues first, you should have taken that $1 million and donated it to BLM. But he wanted to go on a date with Drake. This is incredible. Right after he's saying that, like, yeah, he would drive down the street and every light would turn green when Drake showed up.
What? Stop.
Someone said Drake cracked. Like, this is how you take a bitch out. This is, dude, it gets to a point, and I'm showing this to explain to you people, look, you might make fun of Muslims because we pray, because we worship God, the one true creator. If you don't worship God, you worship something. For a lot of people, it's themselves. So many others, especially people in hip hop, they worship celebrities, they worship rappers, they worship Drake.
Akademiks worships celebrities. He starts joking around saying, you should have taken $1 million instead of dinner with Drake. You care more about Drake than real issues? This looks like a date. And you could tell Sneako was trying to paint this image that Akademiks criticizes other people constantly online while simultaneously idolizing celebrities behind the scenes. Now, whether that's fair or unfair is up to the audience. But the bigger issue here is that once those personal shots started happening, the debate stopped being about ideas completely. Now it became disrespect. And once disrespect enters the conversation, friendship usually goes out the window. Then Akademiks responds again, and this is where things really went left, because Ak starts questioning Sneako's relationship with black culture entirely. He basically says Sneako shouldn't even be speaking on black issues, because according to Ak, Sneako doesn't genuinely identify with black struggles unless it benefits him in an argument. And this is where the internet really started choosing sides. Akademiks was essentially arguing, how can you claim to care deeply about international issues, Palestine, religion, and social injustice overseas, but whenever black Americans talk about their own struggles, you suddenly become dismissive? That was the core of Ak's argument. And from there, he starts going even harder. He's saying Sneako only cares about topics that appeal to his current audience. He accuses him of
and you're pandering for these other people, the white dudes who are usually saying, nah, see, Sneako is not one of them. Okay, and now, Sneako, I will say this. One of your things that I've noticed about you do like playing victim.
And I'm only playing this because Akademiks was making fun of prayer, right?
He comes across as a grifter because he doesn't know how to be a straight shooter and also apply the same standards to things that he might care about. This is why I keep saying I would like for Sneako to stop speaking about black people and black culture, because if you can't see if you claim you're black yourself and you have zero sensibilities towards black people, their plight and everything else, but you care so much about Palestinians, a place you've never been. You care so much about what's going on in Israel, a place you've never been. You care so much about all these other international affairs, but when it comes to black people, you have like this obtuse look that is kind of like, yo, y'all gotta get over it. When he starts making fun of prayer, the way to beat Sneako in every debate, equate what he's trying to preach on you to what he cares about. He cares nothing about nothing else but Muslim shit and goddamn Israel and Palestine. So you keep him there. So if he says, hey, Ak, if somebody just slaps you, you should do nothing. God says this. You bring up something that's sacred to him. That's the only way to get a niggas like Sneako. Because even what they do is kind of like fake religion, because they act like Allah only give a fuck about the gods that strip in Israel. When you could have zero humanity, you don't care nothing about black people over here. But over there, you care about everything that's going on over there. You got to remind them. So any conversation with me and Sneako, I will never stop talking about his religion. It's the only thing he cares about. The dude was shocked that I said I care about black people, and not even on some I'm here, we gonna be all right shit. Nigga, I'm black. When people first see me, that's the first thing that jumps off the page. So I'm telling you, no one's making fun of prayer, but it's the only thing he cares about. So you gotta consistently show him through analogies or flipping the script on him. Well, if you think these things aren't offensive, what about if it's done within the confines of your religion? Sneako is in a place now, he's trying to appease to his audience is primarily Muslim. So he's trying to be seen as this good Muslim guy. Now, maybe it's sincere. I don't want to necessarily say it's not sincere or not, but again, if that's what y'all got going on and you want to present your best face for them and you want to, whatever, no one's inviting you to fucking give your opinions when, like, your opinion, you should say, hey, I don't identify with the black plight at all. So when these guys are saying what Chud the Builder is doing is hurtful or is disrespectful or offensive, I'm going to stay out of this one. Because even though I have 1/8 drop of blood in me that's black, I can't identify with nigga shit no more. That's all you got to say. Stick with Palestine.
pandering. He accuses him of grifting. He accuses him of selectively choosing what struggles matter and what struggles don't. Now, whether people agreed with Akademiks or not, one thing became obvious. This wasn't content anymore. This was personal, because once somebody starts questioning your identity publicly, especially in front of millions of people online, things get ugly fast. And Sneako was definitely not about to sit there quietly while Ak framed him like that. So what does Sneako do? He flips the narrative right back on Akademiks. Sneako basically starts weaponizing the FBA conversation. Now, for those who don't know, FBA stands for Foundational Black Americans. And online conversations around FBA versus immigrants get extremely heated. Sneako knew exactly what he was doing bringing this up, because if Akademiks is going to question his blackness, Sneako decides he's going to question Akademiks' American identity. So Sneako starts saying stuff like, if this is about American black issues, why is Akademiks speaking on it? He's Jamaican, he should focus on Jamaica. And once that happened, bro, the internet completely exploded. Now both sides were pulling identity politics into the argument. Akademiks was basically saying Sneako doesn't understand black American struggles. Sneako was basically saying Akademiks isn't even American. And the crazy part is both of them knew exactly how online audiences would react to those statements. Because internet culture today is heavily audience-driven. People know how to rally communities behind them. And both these dudes are smart enough to understand exactly how narratives spread online. That's why this entire situation started feeling less like two friends disagreeing and more like two media personalities, strategically turning their fan bases against each other. And honestly, that's probably why this beef got so viral, because it stopped being about the original debate entirely. Now it became who's fake, who's clout chasing, who's pandering, who's more authentic, who's using identity politics, who's manipulating audiences. That's why every live stream clip started doing millions of views. Every little reaction became content. Every offhand comment became a viral moment. And because both Akademiks and Sneako stream for hours at a time, there's constantly new clips surfacing every day, adding fuel to the fire. One day Sneako's calling Act fake. Next day Akademiks is saying Sneako only cares about pleasing his audience. Then Sneako responds again saying Act worships rappers. Then Act comes back questioning Sneako's sincerity with religion. And at this point, bro, I genuinely don't think this relationship is repairable anymore. Because once dudes start publicly attacking each other's identity, religion, loyalty, audience, and authenticity, it's deeper than just debate content. Now it's ego. Now it's pride. Now it's personal. And honestly, the craziest part about all this is that both of them probably think they're the one being fake-checked. Akademiks probably believes Sneako became performative for his audience. Sneako probably believes Akademiks became performative for his audience. So from both perspectives, they think they're exposing the real version of the other person. And when two creators both think the other one is fake, there's almost no coming back from that, especially online, because internet audiences love conflict. The second people smell tension, every live stream, every tweet, every reaction clip gets analyzed frame by frame. That's why even little comments started turning into huge viral moments. Akademiks calling Sneako this entire thing way bigger than the original debate itself. The debate was just a spark. The aftermath became the wildfire. Now, at this point, people online are fully choosing sides. Some people think Akademiks exposed Sneako completely. Others think Akademiks got emotional and started taking things too personally. Some people think Sneako got unfairly dogpiled. Others think Sneako brought the backlash onto himself. But one thing almost everybody agrees on is this. These two are probably never going to have the same relationship again. Because once content creators start publicly humiliating each other repeatedly in front of millions of viewers, trust disappears fast, and the internet never lets people forget it. Now, every future interaction between Akademiks and Sneako is going to feel weird. Every collaboration is going to feel forced. Every joke is going to feel like a sneak diss. And if we're being honest, it already feels like they've mentally categorized each other as OPCs. Not rivals, not debate opponents, ops. And in the streaming world, once two creators hit that point, things usually only get worse from there.